What if the moment you stop being easy to manipulate is the moment certain people suddenly stop liking you? You become harder to guilt, harder to pressure, and harder to control. And the people who benefited from the old version of you may notice first. But what exactly changed inside you? That is where your freedom really begins. The answer starts with the first trait. The first trait is emotional awareness. You no longer react instantly. When someone pushes your buttons, you pause. You ask, why am I feeling this? That tiny pause creates distance between their behavior and your response. Manipulators depend on quick emotional reactions. Once you slow down, their script starts falling apart. But there is another trait that makes their tactics even weaker. The second trait is strong boundaries. You learn that saying no does not require a 10-minute explanation. You can refuse something without feeling guilty. You can leave a conversation without winning it. Why would your boundaries bother someone who genuinely respects you? The third trait is independent thinking. You stopped automatically believing the loudest person in the room. You ask questions. You check facts. You notice when words and actions do not match. This makes manipulation much harder because pressure works best when you surrender your judgment. Once you start thinking for yourself, even familiar people can no longer tell you what to believe. And then something unexpected happens.
The fourth trait is comfort with disappointment.
You no longer panic when someone is angry with you. You understand that another person's disappointment does not automatically mean you did something wrong. That means threats of rejection lose their power. If someone says, do this or I'm leaving, you can finally think, then maybe you should leave. But there is an even deeper shift behind that confidence. And that matters more than approval. The fifth trait is emotional detachment. Someone can be upset without you becoming their emotional emergency service. Someone can misunderstand you without forcing you to prove your worth. You can listen without absorbing everything. And that creates a freedom most people discover only after years of exhaustion. The sixth trait is pattern recognition. You start noticing repetition. The apology always comes after the insult. The kindness appears when they need something. The guilt arrives whenever you set a boundary. One incident can be confusing. A pattern is different. Once you see the cycle, you stop arguing with individual moments and start judging the entire pattern. And that leads to the rarest trait of all. The seventh trait is self-trust. You no longer need someone else to confirm what you already know. You trust your observations. You trust your discomfort. You trust yourself enough to walk away before you have courtroom-level evidence. This does not mean every feeling is correct. It means you investigate your feelings instead of automatically dismissing them. And once you trust yourself, manipulation becomes incredibly expensive for the person attempting it. Here is the twist. Becoming impossible to manipulate does not make your life conflict-free. People who were comfortable crossing your boundaries may test them again. They may accuse you of changing. They may say you are cold, difficult, selfish, or distant. But sometimes you've changed simply means the old strategy doesn't work anymore. The deepest form of strength is not controlling other people. It is realizing they do not need to control you either. You can stay kind without being available to everyone. You can forgive without returning to the same situation. You can love someone and still say no. And you can walk away without needing revenge. So ask yourself something difficult. Are you becoming a colder person? Or are you finally becoming a freer one? Because there is a huge difference. Losing your softness is not strength. Keeping your heart while learning where to place your trust is strength. If this message made you see your relationships differently, subscribe for more stories about psychology, human behavior, and the hidden forces shaping our lives.